we speak of great achievers, we tend to use phrases like they've come from far, they started from the bottom, or they did a lot to get to where they are now. There's a starting point for each successful story, and I invite you to get a copy of Lifted on kevintindi.com. My name is Likuyani Eli, and this is Against All Odds.
Well, indeed, this is Against All Odds, Season 2, Episode 1. What a way to start your Sunday evening. Remember, you can follow this live session here on Facebook and YouTube. The handles are Likuyani Eli. That is my handle on Facebook and Twitter for that matter. And you can follow the live cast on YouTube, which is the Arts in Heart Official and the Arts in Heart on Facebook. Remember, we are multi-streaming to Tina Kagi's page, responding to live, and above all, on the fans page of Arts in Heart. My guest tonight, she has an amazing story. You know, those stories you only hear in movies, and for that matter, movies that are made out of our lives. I will not take much time to introduce her because she has a mouth for herself, and it's better to listen from the donkey's own mouth. Is it the horse's mouth or the donkey's mouth? Let's find out. Dorcas Kutima. Good evening, and how are you, Dorcas Abari, ya Mombasa?
Good evening. Mombasa is okay.
Yes.
The weather is awesome.
The weather is awesome. Any rains there? Because there are a lot of rains around the world, including here.
Yeah. So my name is Dorcas. Yes.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
My name is Dorcas Kutima, but some people call me Blessing.
Blessing. Wow. That's why Blessing? You have so many blessings. Are you Mother Abraham?
No, blessing came about because of my last name. My last name is Shida, which means problems. So I got to a place where I decided I'm no longer Shida. So I blessed myself with the name Blessing.
Okay, that's interesting because names really have some value on them. So if you're watching this cast, remember you can join in with the hashtag Against All Odds or Art in Heart Season 2. I see Wilberforce Wekesa joining us live from Kisumu, Kenya. We have Vicky MC, we have Noreen Ambata, good evening, Okeyo Bernard, and Sarah Njonjo, karibuni sana. So Dorcas, you know, when we were getting ready to have this discussion, there are a lot of stories you told me, but I believe you are the right person to tell your own story. And that's what we do on Against All Odds. So Dorcas, without further ado, tell us your story.
Well, my story is quite interesting. You know, for me and for many others, I believe so many people have gone through what I've gone through, especially with how we are raised in the African community. So I come from a very humble background, you know, a family of seven. I have 7 siblings, and I'm the one stuck in the middle. There are three ahead of me and 3 behind me. So I tell myself I'm always stuck in the middle. The kids stuck in the middle, they never get the attention that much. So you have to look for the attention. Yeah. So I grew up in Kisumu. And a very lovely, sweet parents. Those days we would call them strict, but growing up now, I realized the strictness was out of love. Yeah. So my story starts from actually Kisumu. Yeah. So where I grew up, we had this childhood would be allowed to go out and play. There was no so much restriction. And I'm that kind of person who mingles with anyone and everyone. You come to where I live, and if you want any direction, you'll use my name to find direction. Like you want.
So you were not Shida after all. For those who don't understand the meaning of Shida, actually it's a name, yes, which she decided to change it to Blessings because Shida in Swahili means problems. So you were not, were you known or was the direction known because of the problems you're causing?
Because I was all over. I was just, I was that kid who would be found anywhere, and people knew me. So if you want to send someone somewhere, they will tell you, go to and Shida's place. Then when you get there, ask for somewhere, people will look for places. When you come to Shida, she'll definitely know where you're looking for. Yeah, so I was that kid who, I'll be found anywhere. And people love me. I was a tomboy, actually. I was a tomboy. I would always hang out with men and, just play basketball. And wherever you see a gang of men, you'll always find me there.
So you are the type of you guy, my guy kind of lady, or were you lady, my guy?
Actually, ladies were not a part of my crew then. I would always hang out with men,
Mm-hmm.
and I never felt any discomfort. For me, they were just they're just my peers. We're just buddies. We're cool with
Yeah,
one
but
another.
but that's interesting because a lot of ladies have, I would say, unpronounced phobia for that matter, that they feel they are not so safe around men. At the same time, they search for safety when men are around. For your case, it was different. You are very comfortable around men. But now that brings me to my wonder question. Does that by any
Mhm.
chance tell us why blessings decided to acquire more blessings without permission?
Okay. Then I was so naive. I would say I was so naive. Hanging out with men for me was just a normal thing, you know. And I would just look at men like this opposite sex. I didn't even know what sex is, you know. In those
Mhm,
days, our parents wouldn't sit us down. The way nowadays you find a mom talking to a girl that this is it, this. Kitambo, your mom would say, if you go playing with boys, you'll bring a child here, but you really don't know what the meaning of playing is, So you'll go
mhm,
there,
mhm,
mess up, then you come back and you realize, oops, I've just messed up.
yeah.
I only realized that when I was in class 6. That's when I got my first person who approached me. I was in class 6. I was so naive. I didn't understand anything. And then
Um,
this guy was in Form 4.
okay, take me slow because
Yeah.
this is more interesting. You were in your level 6, we'll call it, on the lower primary or the middle primary,
Yeah.
right? For that case.
Yeah.
And you have a gentleman that is on their 4th year of secondary school that comes to you. Tell me, what was the conversation you were having? Because I think at class 6, you were busy playing Kalongo. What game were you playing with
Yeah.
this other guy?
I was actually that day I was actually sent. I wasn't even wearing shoes. I didn't even have shoes on. I was just going to the shop. And this guy
Mm-hmm,
spots me and he followed me home and he started making it a habit, coming looking for me and just saying hi, let's hang out, come to my home, blah blah blah.
mm-hmm,
Okay, so that was it from the beginning initially until I got fond of him
mm-hmm,
and out of their place. And the siblings and the dad didn't mind me being there. It was just a friend. But now I started being cautious about my dressing. Now that's when I realized, there's more to that. I started
mm-hmm.
looking good. I started putting on the slippers because when he met me, I didn't even
Wait,
have
wait.
slippers.
So when you met you two, you had no shoes on or anything covering your feet, and you just walking to the marketplace to do what young girls will go to do and errands for their parents, right? And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you're becoming a person of interest. You are having your dresses to a particular taste. You're not
Yeah.
tomboy anymore. Tell me that juicy stuff.
I was still a tomboy though, but I think
Oh.
the attention just got me to start looking at myself differently and just being cautious about my body. I was so beautiful then. I'm still beautiful,
Are
but
you
I was
still
I was like
beautiful?
I was a hot cake. I think I was just a hot
Now
cake,
the cake is just off the oven, so it's still a cake. It's okay.
Yeah. So his attention towards me got me, I started getting more interested in, what he really wanted. I was so naive.
Mm-hmm,
I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just playing along. I was just playing along
mm-hmm.
until it got me into trouble.
Oh.
So there's this particular day we were just hanging out, and I decided to overstay my visit. And my mom went looking for me all over. She was just going around asking where I am, and you know, until she found me and she gave me this hot slap. And I decided I'm not going back to that house, so I ran away and decided to spend.
Dorcas, as you try to tell us why you are getting slapped for that matter or smacked, I have a lot of people following here online. They're saying Isam Reddy says anafuata or following. G Magic Kitchen, we from G Magic Kitchen tuko hapa karibu sana. You are going far. That is probably coming from the Facebook page we are streaming on. Gatute Richard, hi to you. Frida Nguku, niko ndani ya nyumba. Hello hello from Hussein Zena na amesema amefika pap. Let's carry on as we discover mbona ulipigwa kofi.
Eli, nilipigwa kofi kwa sababu nilikawia nje. It was past my curfew time.
So you had some curfew rules on what time you're supposed to come home if you go running your errands.
Yeah.
So and this you're still in class 6?
I was in class 6.
How late did you stay out?
I think it was 7. It was already dark. I was supposed to be home by 6.
Okay.
7, I was still outside and it was dark. So my mom started getting worried. Then my dad was not in the country. He was outside the country. So my mom was, she was the dad and the mom. And she got worried. I'm sure she was like, oh, hey, if my husband asked me where my daughter is, I don't even have an answer. So she decided, let me go looking for her. Yeah. So she decided to come looking for me. And that's where she was told. Someone snitched on me and told her where I was.
Oh, so you had this kind of people in your hood that actually were snitches. So I want you to find out more about the snitch and what happened as we continue with this conversation. Remember, you are watching Against All Odds. My name is Likuyani Eli and my guest Dorcas Kutima telling us her story. You want to find out more about her story? Be sure to join after this short break.
Hey, good people, listen to this, a quick one. It's back, it's big, it's better. Every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. East African time, Men's Day. We are back. We are talking what eats, concerns, and bothers men. Among other hosts, join us. Tag along a friend. Subscribe, hit that button on all our media platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube. Let's meet on Tuesday. Thank you.
And welcome back. Of course, you're watching Against All Odds. You remember you can share, tag, and of course invite friends to get to discover more about what we say and discuss on Heart in Heart. And tonight, my guest is Dorcas Kutima, who has an amazing story. Ever thought that you have everything figured out, especially if you think the only thing you need in life is bae or sweetie or love kind of language? This is what Dorcas thought she had figured out. But before we even get to that juicy part, or rather the teary part, let's find out Mona alichapwa kofi na mama for overstaying and what he was doing, because people of her age are literally supposed to be home doing homework, but he was outside doing other businesses. Dorcas Kutima, karibu sana.
Yeah, thank you.
Biashara za
Yeah,
jioni.
so
What were you selling, or what were you hawking around? Because I know Kisumu is really known for hawking. So why were you out and instead of doing your homework at home?
I was just chilling, by the way. I was just chilling with this guy in their house, actually. The dad was there
In the house.
and they there. But the fact that I was out, that wasn't right. But at some point, my mom started noticing my coming back home late.
Mm-hmm.
And she was concerned. She was so concerned about it. And it got me to a mess. This guy, there's a time he had to be escorted home with a group of people, and it was just a mess. My mom was there, and
your mom hired people to escort him, or what are you telling me?
I got lost as usual, coming back home late, and now she really wanted to find out who this guy was, and she knew. So this guy escorted me home, and my mom sent for him. So he came home, my uncle was there, and it was drama because now, it wasn't a sweet talk. Now it was bashing. Why are you spoiling my little girl? Blah, blah, blah. All those frustrations that she had.
Yeah.
And that's when, after a while, he disappeared. I didn't know where he went to. I think with all that drama, the dad decided to just, make him go somewhere else. But
so had he done
made
his
me.
fourth year?
Yeah, he
Was
did.
he done with fourth year? Okay, fine. So they invite him, and your uncles are all there with their very red eyes saying, "Come, baby, come." What were the warnings that were being lashed on him? Usiwahi patikana na mtoto yetu.
Tutakupiga, unaharibu mtoto mdogo, wewe uko form 4, yako class 6, all those things, And my innocent self is just standing there. I'm wondering, oh, what's happening? I wasn't really innocent now, because now, my body had started noticing some changes and all that. And the attention I was getting from this guy was something that I'd never experienced, someone showering
I
me
mean,
with
I find it explainable, because you are in a sibling of 7 and you're in the middle, so most of the time nobody bothers about the middle figure. That's why they always say we will be concerned about number 1. Number last will always take care of themselves. But when it comes to family and siblings, the first one are always given the stroke, whereas the last one is always being pampered. But where hapo katikati, just figure yourself around. So I tend to understand why you say you felt like you didn't have enough affection coming your way, and looking it elsewhere was actually giving you that comfort. But how did that turn around your life?
It didn't. Okay, I love saying that everything that has happened in my life is a puzzle that leads me to my destiny. So at some point you'd feel like, I messed up, but the mess, I believe the mess turns out to be something beautiful later. Now, when you realize, when you take in the lessons that come with it. But I think with this guy's attention, and I wouldn't blame my parents for not giving me attention. They really loved us. But my dad, mostly, he was working, and my mom too was working. So, but we never had that heart-to-heart talk. I don't know about my siblings, but I wouldn't open up my heart to my parents. I just felt uncomfortable. I think because of the lashes that came from my dad, I tended to fear him. At some point, I would see him, and I would always feel like, oops, maybe I've done a mistake or something. So I wasn't open. I wasn't open with them because of the fear that grew in me. So when
fear
someone
grew
comes,
up and you're afraid to let go your feelings or express yourself. And yes, there was somebody else who was ready to welcome you in. So tell me about you getting pregnant.
Okay, with him now going, when I got close to him, I got to know so many people around, most of his friends. So when he left, I would always get this attention from other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I met this guy who everyone knew him as a bad boy in the estate. But
Bad boys, open your ears because this is your part. Go ahead.
yeah, so I got to meet him, and I met him through a guy I was dating then. I was in Form 3, and I was with my boyfriend. So this guy came, and my boyfriend actually warned me against him. He told me this one is a wrong number. Don't.
Slow down, Dorcas. Slow down. Take me slow. So your boyfriend that was supposed to have, and I want to get it right. Let's say Nick. Nick was the one who was in Form 4 when you're in Class 6, right? Let's
No,
say Nick.
he.
Let's say Nick. So
Yeah.
Nick left and went without a trace.
Mm-hmm.
And you had so many cold nights. And you're imagining, okay, fine, you know what? Life must continue. So you got another Brio, let's say, for example. And Brio came along, and he was now the guy when you're in Form 3.
Yes.
And Brio was telling you,
Actually,
stay away from Kevo.
yes, actually, I met Brio when I was in Form 2, and he really, for me, as much as he was my boyfriend, he would take care of me like a brother. He really liked me, by the way. That guy, he really liked me, and he will tell his friends when I'm coming over. So I think he told his friend that I was coming over. So the friend came to meet Brio's girlfriend.
And this is Kevo
And now
now.
this, yes. And now
Kevo. Kevo. Kevo who bewitched you. Kevo ulilaniwa na nani?
aliamua kushika usukani.
So Kevo comes, okay. After being introduced by Brio, and Dorcas is there looking all, as you said, hot cake, right? The cake was yummy. Everything was into perfection. And then, go ahead.
So I was leaving for home, and we used to stay. We were neighbors, not really quite near, but we were neighbors. We were going the same route. So he decided, let Kevo go with Kevo, but he had given me a warning before that. So
Dugu, I'm sorry I keep interrupting, but this I must say, for the sake of those who want to benefit from Dorcas' story or Brio's predicament, never in any single day usiwahi pea chui nyama kuchungia mambuzi, atamla. Continue.
yeah, so I think on our way we got chatting and we became close, and I think that's now where I started really experiencing what this thing called love is. He would always come home, snake me out and all that, and I would always go to their place, and the mother wasn't really strict. They were only boys, and the dad had built we call them Simba outside. So yeah, I would always go hang out there. You're
No, you
told
are not
it's
hanging out. You are hanging in. Please, let's
yes,
correct the phrase. Okay.
I was hanging in there. So, and that's when I got pregnant. That's when I got pregnant.
Okay.
At that time, I
Form
was in
3.
a boarding school. Yes, Form 3. I was in a boarding school. I didn't know I was pregnant. I was in school, and there were rumors that there's some girls who were pregnant in school. Blah blah blah. I didn't know that I was among them because I didn't
Among the
even know
number.
what. Yeah, at that time. how I didn't know the symptoms that come with pregnancy. So the school nurse was told to do a checkup on all of us. I was so confident, very confident. And I walked in, I knew I wasn't pregnant. But I wouldn't say unfortunately, because I love my son. Fortunately, I was I was pregnant. And that's when my mom was called. And I come from a very, my family were very staunch Catholics, and my mom was all over in church, and my dad. And we know
Oh,
all
Jesus
this.
of Nazareth. Mary, Mother of
Yeah.
God, pray for us sinners. So your mother ndio ule anashikaga leso ya parish. She's the one that takes all
Yes.
the... I know there's a friend of mine here who's working Ambaisi, G Masai, director of I think it's ethics and all that. I believe he's a very good choir master. He would have done a good number for us. Nasadiki. That one.
She was a
So
choir.
your mother was the one,
Yes.
and she was the one carrying the candle to
Yes.
the altar.
And I was, yeah.
And you are the
I
one
was
now
so
carrying. Now you've become Mary because a
yeah.
miracle happened. How did your mother take that news? I want to find out before we do find out how mommy takes the news of the little girl who is supposed to be studying, getting pregnant, and she's a staunch Catholic. What happens to the family unit and who does what? Gilbert Were says, welcome back against all odds. Odila na Bwire, karibu huku. Umekaribisha Odila, karibu sana. We have Doreen Kasioka who says, Sarah and Jonjo, please tag Doreen hapa. Karibu sana, Doreen. And we have Bramwell Jody who says, Dorcas, I can hear you. Anakusikiza vizuri sana. Anakusikiza vizuri sana. We have Godi Segero, one of our own, who says, welcome to the show. Evans Indangasi, mahali popote huko, you are being shouted out. Ukuje na huko. Sawa sawa. James Mwathi, real stories that touch on real lives. Kudos, well done son, karibu sana. Frida Nguku, leo mumekuja na hasira huku. What's happening? I agree with you, Dorcas. The mess up seems like a mess up until later you realize God was recognizing you. You and everything was a plan to make you a better lesson. If only we don't beat ourselves too much for messing up, but pick up our pieces fast enough and move on. Thank you so much, Frida. Bramwell amesema bado ana watch from huku Bungoma. Asante sana Bramwell for your contribution, and any other person that is watching. Divansi Div, majina ni ngumu sana. Topic iko sawa, I can relate. Karibu sana, and that's what we want to actually get to discuss, because at the end of the day, we want to have relevant discussions as we move on with Art in Heart and the rest of the band. Just before I forget, remember we have one of our own, Mwema Nzomo, who has been nominated for the Sondeka Awards. Hey, ebu kwani hii picha ilienda na wapi? Somebody decided to do that thing. I suppose somebody is sleeping on their job. Yes, Mwema Nzomo being nominated for Sondeka Awards. So you get to Sondeka Awards/vote and look out for Nzomo pictures in the creative category, and of course the band which is fused. This gentleman is one of the very reasons you're seeing the programs that are online, streaming live here on Facebook and YouTube. Remember, you can follow our handles. That is the Arts in Heart on Facebook and the Arts in Heart official on YouTube. Subscribe, share the link, and invite friends, because we got awesome stuff happening here. We're going to take a quick break and see what actually got Nzomo nominated for the Sondeka Awards.
Ai, Njeri, ni wewe ulipika njahi na gas? Mbona ukakaranga matumbo pia? Ukaongezea na kupika githeri? Sasa gas imeisha, tufanyaje? Usijali, tunakuletea makaa. Makaa inawaka bila gas, bila mafuta taa, pumzi ya kupuliza tu, ama gazeti ya kupepeta. Makaa inapika paka mawe. Makaa, hata mamako anajua makaa. Makaa. gas ni ya pizza na vitu vya heshima.
Umeahidi ewe Bwana huniachi hadi mwisho wa dahari, ulisema huniachi. Wewe ni Mungu uliye mwaminifu siku zote. Mimi ninaiweka imani yangu kwako Bwana. Nipitiapo maji mengi au moto, huniachi. Unalijua jina langu wewe Bwana, huniachi. Unatengeneza njia hata mito kule jangwani. Wewe ndiwe Alfa na Omega, huniachi, huniachi.
Umeahidi ewe Bwana huniachi hadi mwisho wa dahari, ulisema huniachi. Wewe ni Mungu uliye mwaminifu siku zote. Mimi ninaiweka imani yangu kwako Bwana.
Baba hata mama wanaweza kunikana, marafiki nao wanaweza nigeuka, mara kwa mara maadui wanizunguka. Nitaishi kwa ahadi yako Bwana, huniachi, huniachi.
Umeahidi ewe Bwana huniachi,
huniachi Bwana
hadi mwisho wa dahari, ulisema huniachi. Wewe ni Mungu uliye mwaminifu siku zote. Mimi ninaiweka imani yangu kwako Bwana.
And welcome back. Of course, that is Noel, and we call them the Ngolomas. So you want to find out more about the music, head to YouTube and just search for Eve Ngoloma, and there you have it. Interesting musician, and of course, very talented. Asante sana for that. And the production behind it is Adding Heart with the director Mwema Nzomo. Asante sana for that clip. We are back, and we are talking to Dorcas, who decided that she was supposed to be the holier than thou, because that's what they expected of her. But Madame opted to become a mother. How did the mother take the news, Dorcas?
Of course, as a mother, she was disappointed. And I know it broke her heart because, when they give you the best, I never lacked. They provided. I wouldn't say that I was once sent from school because of school fees. So they will do their best to make sure that I'm comfortable. So I believe she was brokenhearted. And, the best thing a mother can do is just to embrace you. Msomo pale na pale, they would, but I don't remember. I actually don't remember my dad talking to me about it. He was mute. He never confronted me about it. I have always tried to remember how my dad reacted, but I have never remembered him quarreling me, but the disappointment was real. The silence was real. You know, like his disappointment came with the silence. I was home and he wasn't engaging me that much. He would always go to work and come back. So you wouldn't know, is he angry? Is he okay? You know? But I think he got to a place where he just decided, let me keep quiet, because at some point I was a very stubborn kid. I was given those because I was the one who was the most caned, the most caned and beaten. So I think he got to a place and he just looked at me and he was like, you know what, I am tired of beating you. I'm tired of,
Hello, Dorcas, you still there with me?
I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I am.
I thought we lost you for a second. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so
So he got tired of whipping you because nothing was happening, and yeah, disappointment was real. There's silence, treatment happening, and perhaps it's not so happy. So how did you walk through your pregnancy? Was Kevo available, or how did you manage as a young mother?
he would come once in a while and disappear, and he would secretly come to see me. He didn't deny the pregnancy. He embraced it. But my dad took care of me, and my mom, they made me comfortable. I was very comfortable. They made sure that I went to my antenatal clinics, and I was well fed, and while the rest are at school. So the one home, for me, that's when during the time of pregnancy, I think it dawned to me that you messed up. You messed up. But after the pregnancy, it was actually my dad who took me to the hospital that night. And my son, turned out to be their favorite. They really loved him. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Jiwe lililokataliwa limekuwa la msingi, ama what do you call it?
Yeah, it was an embarrassment to them, but I just have lovely parents. They would, I think they just took in the shit for me and loved me regardless, and just loved me regardless. I always appreciate that. But no, after I gave birth, I had a choice to go back to school. They gave me that choice to go back to school, and I went back. They took me back, but the stubbornness was still there.
Real.
And
okay.
Yes, and Kevo was still,
ulionja asali ukamaliza buyu.
So I even got to a place I carried my son and disappeared from home and thought I was ready for marriage and went to live with Kevo.
Wow, interesting that you say that, because here you have parents that are willing to take you in and take you back to school, which is not so common, especially in the years that have passed, because a lot of parents, once that happened, it was direct. You had to move out or get married or whatsoever. But you have parents that are willing to take you back to school, and you opt that this ain't making sense. I'm ready for marriage. Tell me about your fairy story.
Okay, now when I went back there, I think that's when now my dad lost his cool, and he decided to come for me. So when he came, he met the parents. Then the dad had passed on, so he met the mother, and they sat and talked. And he told the mother, "I want my girl to go to school. That's for sure." He wanted me to have an education. So he agreed with her that if you're going to stay with my daughter, you better take her back to school. So you stay with her, but make sure she goes to school. So they decided they would take me to school. So they took me to school actually, but to the kind of school they took me to, Uliko huko mashinani.
So your group of schools, you're going to school of nowhere.
Yes,
Did
but
that
it was
not
by
tell
the
you
help.
what you are preparing for? Did that in any way tell you, Dorcas, you are in for a very serious marriage commitment if this is the school you're going to? But
Ellie,
of
I
course, I
went to
suppose
that.
love was, you were still in love, right?
Yes, I was. And I felt like I've conquered the world, you know. My dad they took my son. My dad and my mom decided to take the child. So they told me, we'll take the child. If you want to stay with them, they'll take you to school, you go ahead. So they had my baby while I went to school. So with the help of his aunt, I went to one of the schools where the aunt was a teacher, I believe. She was a teacher. But it wasn't my cup of tea. I went in there and I looked around and there was no one who, to be honest, didn't match where I was coming from. My lingo and
Okay.
their lingo were not, they were not,
So cool kid
you
is going to no kid school.
yeah. And during weekends, that's when the frustration would come in because now we were very few boarders and I would look around and I'm so stressed. And at some point, the guys in school knew I had a baby and some would mock me, some didn't mind, you know. So one day I just woke up, packed everything and decided, you know what, me, I'm not staying here. And I left. I left the
But
school.
you left school and went back to marriage, or you were still married?
I wasn't actually, we never actually got married. You know, like I just stayed with him for a few months. A few months. I didn't even finish a year with him. So I
And
went,
why?
I was a baby. I was a baby. And as much as he was, for me, a man, I still needed a father figure in my life. So all this attention of, my father not being there, I'm away from home. At some point, it would kill me. And I knew my kid was also with them. They were taking care of him, yes, but that desire of going back home. I would rather do all these troubles and when I'm home, because now
Yeah.
outside here is tough. Yeah, it was tough. So I went back and I think my dad got wind that I was not in school and he came for me. He actually came for me. And that's when he sat me and he told me, I'm taking you back to school, a better school, but you will never get married to that man. Over my dead body, would you get married to him? So that's how I went back home and decided, this one.
Ulipiga hesabu
Yeah.
ukaona this one is a losing battle. But tell me something, because a lot of young girls that get married at such an age, one of the biggest problems that comes with it, they are now supposed to transform into wives overnight. And on top of that, their expectations. And then if they're not able to fulfill these expectations from their men or husbands, then there is sort of violence that comes in, gender-based violence. Was this your cup of tea, or you just had a fairy tale?
No, for him, Ellie, I got married later, not with this guy. This guy, I just stayed with him for quite some time. But at some point, I got frustrated. I even tried committing suicide.
Oh.
Because life was tough. Life was tough. So after going back home, I actually managed to finish form four. My dad and my mom just wanted me to finish school and get over with it, I didn't perform well because of all this. I stayed home for quite some time, like a year. Then now I went back and I did my form four immediately. I didn't stay in school for long before I did my form four. So I did my form four and they decided they're bringing me to Mombasa to stay with my sister. So that's how I lost touch with this other guy. Because now my dad had given me, my dad had already said, you'll never get married to this guy.
Mhm.
And for me, I took that word. I wouldn't want to, especially coming from the pain when he was talking about it. I didn't want to disappoint him. I told myself, nah, let him stay. I'll have to respect my dad this time. So that's how I come to Mombasa now, where I got married.
Mhm.
But I
And
still
life was
got to
better.
no. Now that's where the drama started. Because I didn't get married from my dad's approval. I was staying with my sister, and I was still young, from Form 4, and I had my child with her. And for quite some time until my mom took him back. When now I was going to college, they took my son back. And being in college, and I want to explore, I want to go out, and I felt like, hey, my sister nanikazia life up, I can't, Then I met this guy who decided to elope with me to his house, and that's how I got married. So I lied to my dad that I was staying in a hostel, but I wasn't actually staying in a hostel. I was married.
Why do young people make these lies?
We always want to hear the things we want to feel and hear are not right. But as young people, we think at that point, we feel like we've grown up. We feel like, you can conquer the world. We feel like this guy loves me. Even with all the lies, you still believe the lies. So just to get out of all that strictness from home, we do stupid things. Yeah. So
Do you regret
ended.
do you regret most of these actions you did as a young person? And if there's anything you would change, what would that be?
Yeah, I would say, as I said earlier, later I came to realize they were just connectors to where I'm supposed to be. If that didn't happen, my son wouldn't be. But given a chance, I really love my son. But if someone would ask me, what would you do better? I would go back in time and just focus on my books and my dreams. Because truth be told, I didn't the things I dreamt about as a young girl, I didn't achieve them. I didn't get what I really desired. I had to have other options because of, yeah. But if I had stayed on course, I'm sure I would have achieved what I really wanted to achieve. But because now life comes and circumstances force you to take other directions.
Life comes and circumstances forces you to take other directions. For those that are watching, I want you to take that home, because she took other directions, and let's see what she went into.
Hey, good people, listen to this, a quick one. It's back, it's big, it's better. Every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. East African time, Men's Day. We are back. We are talking what eats, concerns, and bothers men. Among other hosts, join us. Tag along a friend. Subscribe, hit that button on all our media platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube. Let's meet on Tuesday. Thank you.
yes, I'm here tonight talking to one interesting lady who her story is a story to reckon with a lot of you that might have gone through the same path but don't know how to express themselves. She went ahead despite all the naughtiness and became an interesting woman of content and character. This is Dorcas Kutima, who is now the owner of that business you just saw there, yes? In graphics. Dorcas, tell me about in graphics.
Um, growing up, I loved drawing. I loved drawing so much. So I think that's though I wanted to be I wanted to be on radio. That's what I really wanted. But
Oh,
my
radio.
passion, yeah, that's what I really desired to do. But my
Mhm,
passion in drawing, I decided let me just take on graphics. It comes naturally for me. So I did graphics and design. I have a diploma in graphics and design.
mhm,
Um, and graphics is that it's a business that it's just you can easily make cash. It doesn't. I'm not where I desire to be. I've just started, but
mhm,
we do logos, business cards, printing, name it, branding, anything to
mhm.
do with branding basically and advertising. Because I believe every business and everyone needs to be branded.
Wow.
Branding is yeah. Branding is
W-
like having a name.
Having a name. Like you decided to rebrand from Shida to Blessings.
Exactly.
And
Like
did
Ellie.
that, eh, say again?
If I'm saying, Ellie is your name. So
Yeah.
if I walk into your business and you don't have a name, if I've not heard of your name, how would I know you? So the business needs to have a name for it to go out there so that you
Hmm,
get to be
hmm.
known. Yeah. So
Awesome.
graphics is
Awesome.
for everyone and anyone. Doesn't just mean business. Anyone, you can
Hmm.
brand yourself. Really.
You
Yeah.
can brand yourself. So for everyone that thinks they don't need to brand themselves, especially those young upcoming ladies, what is your message to them?
Uh,
Wako tu wanakuwaga hivi. I really like saying that because I see it a lot. You take them to a restaurant and they are busy taking photos instead of taking care of their bodies by eating. What do you tell them?
let me tell you what I will tell them, Ellie. I used to be that person who I would always be on my phone like 24 hours, but I didn't know this phone can make me money. You know,
Mhm,
we need to, apart from branding, I do social media marketing, digital marketing. So I manage other people's pages.
mhm,
You can use the phone to make money. There's so many online businesses and avenues on how to use your phone to make money. So let them brand themselves. Most of them have these talents. Someone loves fashion, and that's why they take
mhm.
photos every time. But they don't know that that's their passion too, and they can use their passion to make money.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to tell us a little bit about your paps or moms, what would you want to tell them?
Oh gosh. Well, the two of them are just amazing. They're just two amazing human beings. Um, I know my mom, my dad passed on, but
Wow.
that guy, he really loved me. There's a time I heard him telling my uncle, he called me his Kayelo Yellow, you know, that's
Okay.
when
No wonder you are in yellow. I thought you are Kamba by chance, but that is because Daddy used to call you yellow yellow. Okay.
I actually overheard him telling my uncle, oh, my Kayelo Yellow is bringing trouble again. That's when
Mhm,
it hit me. My dad loves me. That's when I knew he loved me. But I never bonded. I never bonded with him. And I've always wished, if there's something that I've always wished is to just bring him back
mhm,
because he was my source of strength apart from all the beatings that came from him. I knew I was secure for as long as he's alive. He
mhm.
protected me since he protected me. and he was my source of strength. For my mom, you know, when a child messes up, they always blame it to the mom. Huyu mtoto wako. So I know my mom has had that huyu mtoto wako so many times.
Yeah.
And what I just want is to just make her proud, to just love her, and because I know she loves me. She prays for me daily. I know my mom cries daily on my behalf. So I love her. I love you, mom, so much.
Pendo la mama, I'm telling you. Thank you so much, Dorcas, for coming on. Let's see if there are any final comments here. Agri Sheikh says, hi, watching from Limuru. Thank you so much, Agri, for joining us tonight. Asante Sana Godi. Your life is not a mistake. That is Ann Seraphine that says that. Zena Hussein, Kevo. I hope Kevo made good his promises and did something good about it. Evans Indangasi Mashe, who says, Godwin Segero, oh yes, I'm watching right now. Thank you so much for watching. Xavier Jerinato, Makevo husumbua lakini. How Makevo will have to do a special round for them. But thank you so much for joining. And then, of course, for everybody that made this broadcast possible, we want to say thank you. And my producers, of course, Victoria Nkatha, Frida Nguku, of course, not forgetting Rahim Kara and Mwema Nzomo. Thank you so much for making it a possibility. How would I forget to mention Godi Segero, the man behind all these things that you're seeing. When he's in Nairobi, everything is set. So, Dorcas, I want to wish you a great evening, and I hope you're going to be an inspiration to the rest of the ladies out there that are listening to your story. So until next time, I've been your host, Likuyani Eli, and of course, we are going to say goodbye in a stylish way. Ama namna gani?
I long for you, alone, God. Nafsi yangu ya kungoja Bwana kuliko walinzi wangojavyo asubuhi. Nafsi yangu ya kungoja Bwana kuliko walinzi wangojavyo asubuhi. Naam, kuliko walinzi wangojavyo asubuhi. Nafsi yangu ya kungoja. Naam, kuliko walinzi wangojavyo asubuhi. Nafsi yangu